Concept that we want to look at is learning how to reduce fractions. When reducing a fraction, we're basically looking for something that's common in the numerator, the top part, and the denominator, the lower part of the fraction. And one way to do that is there a way that I can rewrite these numbers? So example, 6 over 14. Can I rewrite 6 as a multiplication of certain factors? Well, let's write it as 3 times a 2. Still equals 6. The 14 can be written as a 7 times a 2. I'm at the point now that I can determine, is there something that's common on the top or the bottom? And I see that there's a 2 on the top and a 2 on the bottom. Well, I can cancel those out. And the reason why I can cancel them out is I can rewrite this as 3 over 7 times a 2 over a 2. And 2 over 2, that's a clever version of 1. And that will be one of your best friends as you proceed through all these math courses, is learning how to identify when a clever version of 1 is part of the problem. It's a clever version of 1 because it's 1, and 1 times anything is what that anything is. So 6/14 reduces down to 3/7. 15 over 75. Likewise, is there a clever version of 1 in there somewhere? And to determine that, let's factor out each number. The 15 is a 5 times a 3. The 75 is a 25 times a 3. That's one factorization. 3 over 3, there's my clever version of 1. I'm left with a 5 over 25. However, 5 over 25 is not completely reduced. I think I can reduce that some more. This is a 5 times a 1 over a 25 times a 1. Whoops, sorry. Over a 5 times a 5. And there's a clever version of 1 there. And I'm left with a 1/5. Some of you may have thought that I could easily change this into a 15 times a 1, and 75 could have been a 15 times a 5. If you knew that 75 was 15 times 5. I did not know that, but some of you may know, may have. So 15 over 15, there's my clever version of 1. I'm left with a 1/5. 25 over 11. I want to factor each of those terms out. Well, 25 can be a 5 times a 5, and the 11, it's just 11. This particular example, there is no clever version of 1 in the problem, which means I cannot reduce it. 25/11 is in reduced form. And it's also in improper form. Just because you change it to a mixed number does not reduce it. It only changes it. We want to keep these numbers in reduced form, and preferably reduced in proper form. And then 11/33. That looks like that's 11 times a 1 over an 11 times a 3. There's my clever version of 1, and I'm left with a 1/3. Fractions will be all over the place. Just start looking at them gently, start seeing what they're made of, and after a while you're going to start to see where you can reduce them and make them a little bit more friendlier fractions.